Hello friends, good morning all. This is Ruchi. In this video, we are going to learn how to install Java any version, guys. It could be Java 7, it could be Java 8, or it could be any version, guys. How to install Java 7 or 8 on Ubuntu servers, on Ubuntu, not only Ubuntu server or Red Hat or CentOS, any server. Okay, na? The process will be the same. So Red Hat. In this video, the steps involved is total. I'm going to tell 5 steps. By configuring the 5 steps, we can install the Java in the this Ubuntu server or any CentOS servers, Ubuntu, Red Hat, or any servers. So if you observe, so this is the document which I have prepared. This is the document which I have prepared. So let's concentrate on the document. Steps involved is, in the first step, we have to create a Oracle account and download the required JDK tar files from to the Windows. Okay, na? So if it is for Windows, if you are using, you will be downloading the .exe files. If you are using for the Linux server, you have to use the tar file. First step is very clear for you. Okay, na? Because we can't use wget command directly to the Linux server in specifically for the Oracle account. So that's why I'm downloading the tar file to the Windows. And second one, copying the tar file from Windows to the Linux server by using the WinSCP software. That is the second step, guys. Third step is tar file I'm extracting. Next, fourth file I'm renaming, and the fifth step I'm setting up the environment variables. If you talk about this, right, I have written here 6 steps, but the majorly we have to concentrate on the only 2 steps, guys. Okay, the first 2 steps is the main important. So what I'm doing is I'm launching one server. Already I have one server here. Just log into the server. Just log into the server, and this is Docker, right? Just ignore it and change it to Java. This is Java, and I'm taking this public IP. Copy this public IP and copy this public IP. Ubuntu advanced settings, private key. Click on this one. There's the Rishi Mumbai. Okay, guys, perfect. Okay, now you have launched a server. Okay, you have launched a server, and next one is you have to download the tar file, right? So what you have to do is oracle.com. Okay, just which version you needed? Java 8, right? Java 8 you want to, because Java 8 is the standard version, right, which most of the developers will be using. In your case, if it is a different version, right, just type your version here, Java 8. Java 8 download. Okay, now tutorial something it is coming. So better type Java 8 download. Java 8 download. Specifically, we have to mention, guys. Okay, na? Specifically, it will be taken to your Oracle site. Just click on this one, Oracle. Okay, next. You know all this process. So why it is coming? Okay, no problem. So for what we have to download, guys, we have to download the tar files. Okay, na? For I want to download. I want to set up the environment variable in Linux, right? So I have to download the tar file. So search for your tar file, guys. Search for your tar file. So if you observe here, right, Windows 64, I know this one. Next, come up. Linux 64. This is Linux 64 compressed archive, and this is the file which you are looking for. So click on this one. So click on this review. I reviewed means you have to sign in. So before downloading, what we have to do, guys, you have to provide your Oracle username and Oracle password, guys. DevOps Rohit one, just that email ID and password you have to provide. If you don't have an account, right, just create an account here. So it is total 136 MB. I am stopping this one. Okay, now just once it is downloaded, it will be in your downloads folder. So I have from downloads I have copied to previously from downloads I have copied to DevOps Softwares, and click on Java here, and this one, guys. So this is my tar file. Okay, now this is my tar file. Okay, now the scenario is my tar file is present in the Windows, and I want this tar file to be present in the Linux server. So what I have to do? I had to use a software called WinSCP, guys. It is a WinSCP software I had to use. What is WinSCP? WinSCP is a software. WinSCP is a software, or it is a combination of two words. What is this, guys? First one is Win. Win means Windows. SCP means secure copy to the server. So that's why it's a combination of two words which helps us to copy the data from Windows to Linux server. So Windows to any Linux server. So that's why it is called WinSCP. Okay, it's a combination of two words. You have to understand this point. So once it is downloaded, okay, once it is downloaded, so just I will download the WinSCP software. So go to Google, WinSCP download, okay, na? WinSCP download, WinSCP download for 10. Just you can click on this one, no problem. WinSCP is portable, guys. You can install in any versions. It's compatible. So WinSCP.net is there now, or WinSCP.net, or this is the official website. Anything you can click, no problem. Just I'm opening the multiple websites. WinSCP download 5.17 download. Just click on this, download WinSCP. Okay, download WinSCP. From here, what is the next process? Okay, what is from here? So just it's not down problem with the download. Click on direct download. Okay, just it is downloading, guys. It is downloading. Once it is downloaded, if it is a .exe file, what we have to do, guys? Run as administrator. If it is ends with .exe means run as administrator, we have to do it. We have done this for multiple applications or multiple packages. So show in folder, show in folder. Next, so click on this one, run as administrator. Okay, click on run as administrator. So click on yes. That's it, guys. Okay, if you click on continuously yes for 3 to 4 times, right, it will be installed in your laptop. That is done. So next, come to search bar and click on Win. So you will be getting this icon. If you get this icon, it means that WinSCP software is successfully installed in your laptop. Clear? So click on WinSCP. Click on WinSCP. So just okay, na? You'll be a new version is released. You want to upgrade it? No, just I want to continue because after I downloaded, right, there may be the newer version. So what I will do is I'm not going to upgrade my version. So just I'm simply closing. Okay, not to close, no problem. Click on WinSCP. So no need, guys. In the backend it is opening. Okay, na? It took some time. That's it. It took some time, but in the backend it is opening, guys. So if you observe here, see you'll be getting this pop-up option. Pop-up means you'll be after opening that WinSCP, right? You'll be getting this option. It is asking that. Okay, what is this? Means it is a WinSCP software. It is if you observe here, right? This is two parts, guys. Just let me explain in Paint. So it is asking that one new tab is open. Okay, now one new tab is open, and it is divided into off. And it is asking the server credentials. If you give the server credentials, right, your windows will be divided, and means your screen will be divided into two parts. Left part is called the Windows and right part is called the Linux server. So if you want to copy the data from here to here or here to here, so click on the file, copy that option and drag and drop here. If you want this from Linux server to Windows server, right, click on that file and drag and drop here. That's it, guys. Very simple. Okay, very simple. We are no need to use any command. Simply drag your file and drop your file. Similarly from here to here. Very simple, guys. We'll do the same. So it is asking that host name. What is host name, guys? Host name means IP address of your server. Okay, now IP address of your server. So click on this one, provide your IP here. Next, username, it is Ubuntu. If you want confirmation, just click on your server and click on this connect. This is your Ubuntu server. Next, coming to the next. So password I have to provide, guys. Password. So click on advanced. You have to click on here. Okay, na? Advanced. Again advanced. 2 times I'm pressing advanced, guys. Okay, na? 2 times I'm pressing advanced. Advanced. And if you come here, okay, na? If you come here, we'll be having an option called key exchange or authentication. Click on authentication. Okay, don't come to key exchange. Click on authentication and key file. Private key file means PEM file only, guys. No problem. Okay, na? PEM file. The best benefit is if you give the PEM file, right? If you give the PEM file, automatically it will convert into the PPK. Okay, na? The best benefit of this WinRecipe is it will connect to PPK, guys. If you provide the PIM file also, it will convert into PPK. If you have PPK directly, you can provide your PPK files. No issues. So AWS credentials does by Rushi Mumbai. Okay, na? Just all files. See, by default it is taking PPK. So just I'm providing PPK only. If you give this one also, it will take into the PPK only. No issues. So in this scenario, I have an already PPK. Just I'm going with this one. If you are new, right, just click on this one. No need to give, guys. Again, I have no. Just I don't want to give this one. While practicing, you try giving PEM file and see how it is converting into PPK. That's it. And click on OK. Click on OK. Click on login. Yes, continue connecting to the unknown server. Add is host as key cache. Yes, no problem. For the first time, you'll be getting this error because it's not knowing. See, if you observe this one, right, your server is divided into two parts. This is Windows and this is Linux. And okay, in this Linux, if you where you want to copy the file, guys, where you want to copy the files, home Ubuntu, or if you want to copy into the OPT directory, right? If you want to copy into the OPT directory, right? Uh, how to go to OPT directory? If I go to CD forward slash, if I go to CD forward, I have many options here. But why all these options are not showing here? Why these all options are not showing? Means you didn't went to that option. If you want to go to the all option, guys, go to top and click on root Perfect, guys. You can see all the data. What are the data available here? Right? You can see all the data here. So now which path you want to copy? You can copy this data from here to here. So in this scenario, I want to copy the JDK. JDK from where you want to copy? Your wish, guys. Anywhere you can copy. So mostly OPT. OPT means operations will be working in the real time, right? So what I will do is I will try to copy this one into the OPT. OPT, where is this OPT? Yes, perfect. I'm copying this file, guys. So I'm getting this permission denied error. So how to resolve this, guys? How to resolve this permission denied error? Just can you explain anyone how to resolve this? Because the file which I'm copying, which I'm trying to copy to OPT, right? That file didn't have the full permissions. That file doesn't have the full permissions, guys. So what I have to do? Yeah, most your answer will be the same. I know what you're going to give. Yes, chmod, guys. That's it. Chmod. I have to enter. So if you enter sudo chmod 777 or 755, anything is fine. Okay, na? After that, you can, if you want, again you can change it. If you want, change it. OPT. Now perfect, guys. Now perfect. Now again try drag and drop. See, I'm clicking on this file and click on this file, and I'm going to OPT directory and click on this one. So the file is getting copied. Okay, the file is getting copied, guys. That's it. In the next 2 to 3 minutes, we are going to install Java successfully on our server. And make sure that when you launch a server for the first time, make sure that your server is updated. Okay, your server is updated. Sudo apt get update. So it will bring all the dependencies, guys. If you don't do this one, right, it can't connect to the backend centralized repository, and some of the dependencies will be missing. So always make sure that you'll be entering that apt get update command. Okay, so it's getting copied. Two minutes, guys. Okay, 2 minutes. It will copy. So can I? Once you copied, right? Once you are copied, so next step is what we have to do, guys. Third step is sudo tar-xwave. You know this step. You're renaming also. You know this step, and you have to set up the environment variables. You will be knowing how to set up the environment variables in Windows, right? After installing, it is going to C program or C program files 86. you will be getting different path. No, similarly, after extracting where you are going to this path, you have to see. You copy this command as it is. You copy this command as it is, and it is saying that path of your Java file. After extracting, you will be getting a command, right? Whether it is opt or whether it is home Java, opt Java, etc Java. You'll be giving this part, right? You have to enter that path only, guys. You have to enter that path. The first one is Java home, and second one is Java home with bin option. Means in Windows we have set now one option with Java environment variable, and second one is after entering into that bin option, we are entering the data now. Similarly, the same path, same path. So I am copying this enter command. You also copy the enter command. You have to change your file only. Okay, now you have to change your file where it is extracted. So now observe this. It's almost done, guys. It's almost done. Now if you enter into OPT, right? If you enter into OPT, your tar file is extracted, guys. Your tar file is extracted. Means your tar file is came into Linux server from Windows. Now the next step is you have to untar this one. Sudo tar -xvf, sudo tar -xvf, this file, guys. Okay, this file. Enter. Enter. So if you observe now, so your tar file is there. The present version is Java JDK 1. JDK means Java Development Kit, guys. 1.8.0, 221, 223, 224, like that. So it is very hard for me to pronounce. If it is JDK 1 means I can easily understand. Dot 0, 221, 222. It's very hard for me. So what I am going to do is I am going to rename this file for our understanding. If you don't want to rename this file, go as per your wish. But what I suggest you to do is rename your file, guys. Okay, now rename your file. So sudo jdk 1.8, guys. jdk 1.8. If you observe here, jdk 1.8, jdk 1.8 is present. Now next what we have to do is you have to set up the environment variable. Okay, now see, if you have to set up the environment variable. Now go inside the jdk 1.8 and copy this one. Okay, now see, similarly, what are the files available in Windows? All the, see, bin is present. One file I have to copy from, I have to do it from pwd, and the second path I have to do it from bin path. This thing already we have done in Windows, guys. Okay, now this thing already we have done in Windows. The first step what I'm doing is this path, and second path is this one. So if you observe here, this document, the bin path it is already taken. And next, export Java_him means dollar, means indirectly I'm calling this path. Okay, indirectly I'm calling this path. opt Java and bin path. Okay, the same I have copied here. Did you understand? You may get little confusion here only. Nothing else. Don't need to confuse anything. Just copy this one. Where you extracted now, copy the file. That's it. opt Java. In my scenario, my path is opt Java, guys. You have to place there. That's it. You have to place there. So I will show you. This part. This one. Copy this path. Copy this path. 1 minute. Just I'm copying this path. opt Java and this one. So second step, what I entered, we have to copy the path of your Java file. What is my path, guys? What is my path? This is my path. Okay, this is my path. Enter this path. Enter this path. That's it, guys. You're done. Okay, you're done with this step. No need to make any configuration changes. Now you have to run this script. Okay, you have to. I'm going to write small script for this. I'm going to write small script. What is script means? Script is not a new thing, guys. Script is not a new thing at all. So what are the commands? Suppose I have 100 commands, right? Yeah, I have 100 commands. Instead of running 100 commands manually, one by one command, right? I will copy all these commands. In one script, and I will run the script. In the backend, it will do in one shot. It will run all the 100 commands. Not only the 100 commands, whatever the commands you will enter, right? What are the commands you will give in the file, with one go, all the commands will be running in the backend. So I'm writing one file, and I'm running the script. So these two files will be executed automatically. So we will see now how to do that. So for that, what I'm doing is I am writing one script. Where you can write the script, you can write script anywhere, guys. You can write touch means in a home path only, touch java.sh. Here also you can write it. Okay, now here also you can write it. Anywhere you can write. But most of the official documents, what I observed is, okay, now what I observed is CD etc. Okay, now CD etc. And we'll be having an one option called default. 1 minute. CD etc profile.d. Okay, now CD etc profile.d, profile.d. You have to go to this go to this path. So after going, see, after going etc, one check ls profile.d, where the file is there, just observe this one. Profile, where is the profile.d? So profile.d, cd profile.d, profile.d. Okay, na? This is profile.d. If you observe here, so many .sh files are there. Okay, na? Apps related one, bash related one. Okay, na? Something .sh files are along with this file. You create a one new file called java.sh, where I'm creating etc profile.d. Is it mandatory? Means not a mandatory, guys. Official documents they have provided, and we are following the same, because official documentation, if you follow right, it will be good for us. So that's why I'm following. If you want to create in etc java.sh, no, just you can create it. If you create in opt java.sh, no, you can create it. Why I am not creating in opt means all the configuration data, my data will be there. So all the configuration data, if there will be in some allocated path, means I can check it easily. I can check it easily. So that's what I am creating. Sudo vi sudo 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 java.sh, sudo java.sh. Click on, oh sorry, sudo vi. I'm using the vi command. Okay, sudo vi java.sh. Click on enter. Click on enter. If you observe here, right, copy the both the two commands. These are called the environment variables. You have to set up the environment variables. This is must. Environment variables means where your Java path is extracted. Where your Java path is extracted, you have to paste it here, guys. That's it. You're done. You're done with this task. Now enter command java version. Java version. Okay, na? Click on enter. Oh, Java is still not reflecting, guys. Java is not still not reflecting. What mistake I have done? What mistake I have done? I didn't do any mistakes, guys. I didn't do any mistakes. You have created java.sh file only, but you didn't run the script. You didn't run the script. If you run the script, it will be executed by default. If you go to the Tomcat, we'll be having here at startup.sh Tomcat. If you run the startup.sh, it will run the Tomcat. If you don't run it, right, it won't run. So similarly I'm entering the java.sh. So if you want to run the script, I'm using the command called source. We have multiple options, guys. That multiple options also I have provided. If you enter source, if you java.sh, means that file will be running in the back end. Now click on enter. Click on enter. The java.sh, the file, the script has run. So now enter java-version. Click on enter. So this is what I am expecting from you guys. This is Java-version. Most of the people has installed default JDK. That is not the specific Java version. This is the specific Java version, guys. So this is your output, what I'm expecting from you, and you have successfully done. And once again, I'm teaching this. So what are the steps involved, guys? What are the steps involved? Creating Oracle account, copying the JDK file from Windows to Linux server, sudo tor-xvf, next renaming the file, extracting the path, and finally what in the sixth step, observe, after placing your files here, right, to affect these changes, do any one of the following method. Okay, na? Log out the server and log out and log in. If you want to reboot your server, reboot. Next, source etc, any command you can use, guys. Now finally enter the command called java-version. Your output is displayed. In this video, you have successfully installed Java in your Linux server. Now any version, guys, any version, not only this one, or not only CentOS or Ubuntu or Red Hat, any method, follow these the same steps, you will be done with this activity. Thanks, guys.